evening, everybody. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atwood welcoming you to the State Palace Theater here in beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana, for tonight's main event. 10-round middleweight action between these two great warriors.
Commands at all times. Let's have a good clean fight. Touch him up.
Opening 3 minutes of this 10-round fight. What's the best way to neutralize what needs to be?
Timing. Guys throw a little quick punch. Give you a quick jab. You tie the right hand right over.
That is a big right hand after eating one himself. Good block by Magic Man. Good job landing 3 punches by Brooks. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. And now another left. He got hit right there, but he also gave one. Solid effort by the Brown Bomber. Good, strong uppercut. He comes right back with it after taking one. Teddy, this has the feeling of a fight that very much looks like it'll be a chess match.
Yeah, this is a Bobby Fischer type fight, no doubt about that. It's a matter of who moves their pawn, and each guy doing a real careful job and a thoughtful job before they touch those pieces.
Not an accurate hook at all. Parries that punch away. Would you rather have a fighter who's feared or a fighter who's fearless?
I feel like I'm talking to Sonny from the Bronx Tale, but I think that I would rather have a guy that has fear, because he's going to be smart all the time. He's going to be a guy that's going to be aware of things that you need to be aware of. If he's so-called fearless, he's going to walk into all kinds of things that are not going to allow him to be a fighter.
Well-placed counter punch by Spencer. One hook deserves another. Wow. Brooks is coming off a round where clearly the swelling was starting to affect him. And now, hey, this critical time in between rounds where they need to try to control things.
Yeah, right now you have to be calm. That's where it starts. Be calm, don't panic if you're in the corner, man. Because if you panic, the fighter panics. Take the ice, either ice bag or you take the end swell, either one, and you put it directly on the place where it was injured. And you just keep that there, steady. But you don't start pushing into it. You start seeing these guys, they push into it, then they move it away from the eye. They think they're doing something good, but they're doing more damage.
Comes right back with some offense of his own. Good look looking right hand after he got hit. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Not able to connect with the uppercut.
Get it out, get it out.
Takes one to get one. He comes back with a right hand. He takes a shot and then commits to giving one right back. That's a good block by Magic Man. Good return fire that time. And there's the left hand working well for him again. Teddy, is it possible that he didn't respect this fighter coming into the fight? Now, I know a lot of people say, yeah, he's ahead on the scorecards. But you can just see the style of fight that this is that he's being tested.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of two things. This guy being better than his record would indicate, and what you touched on, that he's a human being like anybody else. We look at the guy's record, we think of what kind of fight it's going to be. He looked at it, he thought it was going to be a little easier than it's turning out.
He missed with that headshot. Well, he took one right there, but then he targeted one right back. Nice two-punch combo by Brooks. Brooks' last round is a good example of what can happen when you just stay active. He threw more punches, he landed more punches. You can see the punch stats here, and it really paid off for him.
Yeah, what's that old saying? With great power comes great responsibility, and with great punch stats or high punch stats comes danger sometimes. So, well, I made that one up. I don't know if there's actually
I like it
for that. But that's where you got to be careful. Yeah, the punch numbers are real high, but the more you throw, the more chance of somebody catching you as you're throwing. He has to be aware of that.
On the mark, the counter punch by Spencer. Well-placed three punches landing by Brooks. Brooks is doing good damage with the combination punching.
Well, right there is a good example of the benefit of combination punching. You miss the first and the second, the third and the fourth, they land.
Multiple punches coming in now. How is he able to do this? How is he able to take these shots?
You know, one time Muhammad Ali talked about taking a chin. He had one of the great chins of all time. And what he basically talked about was that when you start to get hit those shots, you start to go down a hallway. And then you go into a gray room. You go from a light room to a gray room. And at the end of the hallway, you see a dark room. You don't want to go to that dark room. And you have a choice. You put your feet down, you start backing up. I'm not going to that dark room. This guy is not being taken to that dark room.
A crafty counter punch after a fine defensive effort by Spencer. Took a shot, now he gives a left. Carries that punch intended for the head. Spencer's cut is on his feet, and you can see that it's bothering him him a bit right now. That's something we'll keep our eye on. You see him timing that double jab to the head. Blocks away that headshot. Brooks is able to land at a good connect percentage. Look at the punch stats. Another round, will it go in another one-way direction? It's been a one-sided fight so far tonight. Brooks is doing very... Oh! Brooks is stunned and staggered. Spencer's showing some real guts here. Hey, this fight was not going his way at all. But somehow, he has gathered momentum.
He behaved like a fighter. He got through the tough times, and now guess what? Good times in front of him.
Nice at all by Brooks. Spencer's making some costly mistakes here. Number one among them is he's not moving his head at all.
No, he's a stationary target right now. And now the only thing that he's lucky about is only one coming at a time. But in a little while, his opponent, you know it, his opponent's going to start putting them together. Then he might not be here anymore.
Not hitting his mark there going upstairs. Eddie, what would you recommend based on what we're seeing here tonight?
Well, 2 aspirin and then, oh no, actually I would say a little counterpunching would be just what the doctor ordered.
That's a better prescription for him. Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Spencer's got those earmuffs on, and he's got his hands tight against his body. But Teddy, still, some things are getting through.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like driving a car, Joe, you know, and the weather's a little bad, and you say, I want to be safe here, I'm going to stop the car. You don't stop and park the car in the middle of the highway.
Oh! Brooks is in a bad place right now. He was tagged.
Hey, no holding, no holding.
Brooks has got a cut. It looks like it's below the eye, on the cheek, but it's something that needs to be monitored. You can see he's trying to score up top, but off the mark there. What guts it takes, what commitment it takes to keep up with this kind of a pace. The action's been non-stop.
Now, the one thing I can tell you is this is where you don't worry about pace. You don't think about pace. Otherwise, you could not be doing what these guys are doing. They're just going round to round.
Sharp 3 punches landing by Spencer. I don't know, Teddy. It just feels like one of those nights, one of those fights where somebody's getting hurt, where this is not going to the judges' scorecard.
I feel like I'm in Coney Island watching one of those hot dog eating contests where somebody's going to try to eat 50 of them, 60 of them. In other words, he's not worried how he's going to feel at the end of the night.
Oh, and he returns fire with a left hand. On the mark, the counter punch by Brooks. Brooks is doing exactly what he told us he would do. Now, he was stunned earlier in this fight, but he's sticking to that game plan.
You know, I like that. You know, I want to see how a guy behaves under pressure. He hasn't panicked, you know. He still believes in his identity, believes in his talents, his abilities, and he's going to stay that way unless the guy fixes him later on.
Brooks is doing really well on the outside. Brooks' opponent is saying to himself, I can't believe this. Every time this guy throws, it seems like he lands. He's very judicious with his work.
Yeah, and that's not by accident. You know, that's his temperament. He has that kind of temperament. If you went out with the guy and talked to the guy, you know, he thinks before he says things. He doesn't just, you know, let his mouth go. He doesn't just let his hands go. He lets it go but he thinks he should.
Brooks is just making some room for himself here. Nice block. And coming upon the halfway mark of this 3-minute round. It's been 2 minutes of non-stop action. Now the final minute has arrived. Pulls the trigger fast. On the mark with the combination by Brooks. What a fight. What a great non-stop action fight this has been. Took a shot, now he gives a left. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. Right back at him with a left hand. Brooks has got to be freezing his corner right now. I mean, everything they asked of him, if they could paint the picture of the first half of this fight, it would look like that masterpiece right there.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? You start to wonder, will he go after the knockout? Because it does look like he has the opportunity to do that. Or you just win. You got complete control now. Do you just win the rounds? And do you work on things now? You know, you have a setting where it's all under your control. You can work on stuff. And you can get some rounds in.
Very nice defensive guard there. He has found his groove with his right hand. Brooks' strategy has been to control things on the outside. And the jab fits perfectly into it.
Yeah, what it's done is it's set up his defense. He's kept his opponents, sometimes he'll kept them off balance, off stride. And it's also set up his power shots whenever he wanted to.
Brooks' nose is starting to bleed. Holy cow! Spencer's stunned and he is hurt. He's in bad shape. Maybe a punch or two more and he's on the game. Oh! Spencer's down. First man to go down so far tonight. Shot. Now he's got to have some big guts to move along.
You're going to find out exactly what he's made of.
He is in a real bad spot right now. Maybe a punch or two and he could be on the deck. Oh boy, he's got to get right to the inside to go bear hug this guy.
Either that, Joe, or maybe as big a long shot as this might be, his opponent now is coming in there not worrying about him at all. And he's leaving himself a little bit open. Maybe he can land the bomb. He can land a lucky shot.
Brooks is doing well, sticking to a game plan on the outside. A nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Good defense upstairs to stay of assault. Brooks is feeling great right now. Why not? He just scored the knockdown, and now he's got that eye. He's got that target, that vision. He knows what he can get after.
And there's no reason why he wouldn't have that. Right now, the only thing that he has to be careful that he doesn't have is overconfidence. He doesn't get reckless.
Nice job to land that counter punch and getting away from one of his own by Brooks. Oh boy, look at this. Right from the get-go, they go after one another.
They remind me of my 15-year-old son going to the dinner table.
And now we got a fight. He fires back a right hand of his own. Now he's putting his punches together. The combination upstairs. Oh, and there you go. Spencer's stunned, and he is hurt. Spencer's making me question how his legs are right now. I'm not sure that he's all too secure and steady on those legs after that knockdown. It's like he's tying up a lot.
Yeah, well, you don't have to wonder. You're saying you're not so sure he's secure. Well, he's telling you. You know, he's right there. That's about as honest as a fight is ever going to be, is what he's clinching. He's telling you, I don't feel too good.
Oh, and he returns fire with a left. Oh! Spencer's been stunned. Well, we know he survived earlier, but now he goes down for a second time. But Teddy, it's what's ahead that's the problem.
Yeah, we're getting a peak.
Knocked down again. Unreal.
Now you gotta wonder what the corner's thinking. Are they gonna stop this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The ref is stopping this fight. Brooks has dealt the win by way of knockout. He put his man down, and the 10 count wasn't finished here. Brooks is your winner by impressive knockout victory.
And he did it just the way he had to. Stayed on the outside and used those quick hands all night.
That does it from ringside. For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. Thanks for being with us.